Hey folks, Bald Guy here. Now that we have a gear enhancement event running, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to go through some gear with you guys, give you some thoughts about how I level accessories and artifacts, what decisions I kind of go through. I think I'm about halfway through the gear enhancement event. Now, I will start by saying this. I don't generally, unless I need to, push through these gear enhancements. Essentially, I'm going to level up what I want to level up and then stop. And if that means that I only get halfway through the event, I only get halfway through the event. Why? Because I've always got in my mind the resources that I'm piling up and, how far I want to go. Like, how much do I want to drain my silver down? Or if I'm the middle of leveling a champion, okay, sometimes I'm willing to pay a bit more silver to get a champion ready. But in this instance, I'm still kind of off on the next round of champions. I'm really going to level up. So if you look, okay, Leo is level 60 now. I used a barrel to level him all the way up. However, he has no masteries, okay, and he has no books. I don't use any books generally, no matter how good a champion is. I'm going to wait for a champion training event to use my books. And then I won't ever 6-star a champion until we get to CVC. That's something every CVC I do. I'll usually have 3 or 4 champions that need to be ascended to level 6. And if it's a legendary, I believe that's an easy 2,500 points. So I'm always going to save that. Remember, when I play this account, it's always, I'm taking the long approach. No matter how good that champion is, unless I'm getting something back for using the books, I'm just not going to throw everything at him and say, well, here you go. My account's been doing fine without Leo. Will it do a little bit better with him? Yes. But certainly me delaying a week or two, isn't going to hurt my account. So I have to decide how I'm going to gear Leo. And honestly, how I gear him and how other content creators may suggest you gear Leo are probably going to be 2 different things. Many times when you watch other videos, of course, you're going to hear, oh, they should be in, 9-piece Merciless, or, oh, they should be in Savage, or they should be in Feral, or, well, I don't have that gear in abundance. And the gear that I do have is not great. So generally, when you equip a champion in 9-piece Merciless, you know that your stats are going to take a little bit of a hit. But that's not even the case with me. In most situations, I don't even have 4 or 5 pieces that I can put a champion in, let alone 9. I don't have the artifacts. And then even if I did, the champion stats would be so low, they wouldn't accomplish what you want to accomplish anyways. Let's just give a quick lowdown of what I have in Merciless. So this is my Merciless pool right here. And you can see none of it's great. Most of it's all rare pieces. So we've got speed, 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 speed. Okay, hit point percent. I'm not sure why I've got that. It's not a great pair anyways. I think at one point I was thinking maybe I'd re-roll it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get rid of it. So let's just get rid of that right now. Defense is the same thing. I'm certainly going to get better. Even if I do want to use defense percent Merciless boots, it's probably not going to be much later in my account, and I'll have much better defense percent gear. The only time I'd really ever put a champion in like a defensive percent or an attack percent is if I had speed as a sub roll, and let's say I got lucky and I got a triple roll on it, and then I also rolled speed on the ascension to where, Yeah, you'd be faster if it was all speed, but you're still pretty good. So we can get rid of this pair as well. This is not an awful pair of Merciless boots, but you're already losing 5 speed right out of the gate. You do have the crit rate, which is great, and you've got some crit damage. Let's just go see. We're going to level it up. I need to do some more Sand Devil. See if I get speed. Yes! Okay, I got speed. Can't go very far with it, right? Because I don't have the medium and the superior oils here. But we can at least take it to +3. I could take it to +5, but I'm probably not going to use it right away, so I'm going to hold those. There's a flat stat. Won't use it. Another flat stat. There's actually, that's not bad, but it's flat stat, awful sub rolls. Let's just try this. Let's see something. Got 8. Like, it's only going to be 1 roll on each, so it's not an amazing piece, right? Most times people will tell you, and it makes sense, you generally don't want to re-roll, okay, your gear unless you have like a triple substat roll, or at least a double. I don't here, but the substats are awful, and let's face it, I'm in need of gear, so I'm going to just risk it. It's probably a dumb risk. I'm just going to come right out and say, like, this is not something I advise you doing, but I'm going to try. Nope, it's res. Look at that. So now we can, it makes it that much easier to dump it. Gone. Now this piece is a nice piece. Let's hope that we get either, we don't want hit HP percent, right? Like I'd love a double roll of speed and then 1 roll of crit rate. Or a triple crit rate here, like, so you know I'm going to get all HP. No, oh, this is a great piece. So I'll actually just take it to 12. I mean, all the way up to 16. And of course, I got a crap final roll, but that's okay. We'll ascend it. Maybe we'll get defense again. That'd be great. Nope. That always seems to work out that way. When I have an attack piece, I get a defense on the ascension roll and vice versa. But that's still, I can put that piece, like these 2 pieces right here. Now, the problem with Merciless on a defensive based champion is this, plus 10% attack. Okay, like obviously that 1st and 5th bonus are not helping you at all. So if you were to go 6-piece, you have 2 of those 6 steps that don't help your champion at all. Now, but on the other hand, the ignore defense, like that's worth it, right? But for me, I don't have any of the artifacts. So most likely what I'll do is just get up to the, the 4-piece and stop there. That way I'm just really wasting the attack percent there. But I don't know if I can get that far. I don't know. Let's see what this piece is. Okay, this is a good piece. I got 1, 2, 3. That's not so good. That's not good. That's not good. It's okay. That's not good. It's not really good either. Let's just get rid of all that. Let's level this up. What I want here is a triple speed. Okay, I got 2 speed. That's probably good enough to, let's just try it, see what I get. Now I was hoping for crit rate, crit damage, but it's a 4th piece, right? I could go helmet, shield, chest plate, and so let's just, for giggles, let's take a look at Donnie. I don't think I have any accessories that he would want to use for, no Merciless, but I could do, this. Just see where that gets me to. All right, so I don't have any masteries on him, so I have 58% crit rate. I don't know if that's going to be enough because I'd have to essentially get 42% between these two items here. I don't know if I've got anything that could get me there. Let's take a look at crit damage. I also have, well, this might be the better play right here actually for Donnie. Let's just fool around with this. Let's just see. Okay. It's good. It's not bad. Put that on. Shield. Put that on. Okay. So I'm way over here. Over 100%. So I can get rid of something. That's a good piece. It's a good piece. Got 20% there. And it's got the defense, which is would be great for Donnie right there. Okay. Well, let's look at this. If I did that in stone skin, I don't know that I have any. Okay. Got a defensive ring. Defense there too. And then I'd need two other pieces. Let's just see here. Come on, give me double crit damage. Double crit damage. So I need 3 more up top here. Okay, let's take a look. Let's just take a look at the stone skin that I've got. I have a lot of pieces, but a lot of them are garbage, to be honest with you. Like, there's a lot of stuff here that, no, it's bad. It's bad. I guess what I want to do with Leo is put him in 1 turn's worth of stone skin so he doesn't die out of the gate, but he has the inherent stone skin buff right here. So I probably don't need it. Probably can just go with what I've got here. I don't think he puts any buffs out. I mean any debuffs. Okay, so I could actually use the chronophage here if I have defensive 1. Kind of like the fact of having a little bit of HP here too on him. That might not be a bad ring to go with. Do I have crit damage by any chance? Nope. Okay, what about a banner? There's a defensive banner. Come on. What do I want here? Triple speed. Oof. Might not be bad. So let's say, well, I can't equip that right now, but I could have. See if I get 2 HP rolls here. Okay. Give me a triple. Yep. All right. I like this piece better. Got a defensive ring with triple HP percent on the substat. I'm going to equip that. I will probably equip this banner. And then all I need is a crit damage amulet. I probably have a few of those. There's crit damage. Well, I got 2. So what we're going to do is this. Level it. See if we can get the double crit damage to send it. There it is. I'll do the other one as well too, but probably I just used all my luck right there. Okay, let's ascend it. Yep. Okay, so that's easy call. Equip that as well. Now we just need to figure out, let's look for some crit damage gloves. We want crit damage. Let's open it all up and see what we've got, and then see if there's a piece that we can pull out of here. We're obviously going to look for speed, is really what we want the most of at this point. I prefer it to be a set too that will benefit him. Those are some stuff, but they're only a 5-star. Let's look for 6. That's a decent set right there, and it's got the defense percent. You know, obviously not divine life, not really what we're looking for, but it's like I said before, at some point with some champs. Okay, so let's get rid of that, and then let's do, just see what we have here. That's all attack percent, so I don't know if that really helps me out. I don't want accuracy. That definitely doesn't help me out. I have a few nice savage pieces, but not enough. I've tried building I need really one more piece of savage gear. Yeah, the divine life, I have a nice set of gloves, but the rest are not so great. Just don't crit damage there, but the substats are awful. Just don't have any super Slayer gear. Like, I kept a lot of Slayer gear, but a lot of it is just really bad. Like, look at those substats. I mean, not very good. To be honest with you, what I'll do sometimes is this. So I did buy the Forge pass, or the pass there, when they had the Slayer gear as part of the rewards. And I forged all of it and did not get a lot of good stuff at all. But I kept most of it in the thoughts that as I get the ability to re-roll more gear, I may come back here and re-roll pieces that have a chance to be really good, right? If I get a triple substat or a double substat on a weapon or a helmet or a shield, I may go through and re-roll those. So that's why you look at this and you go, wow, like he's got a lot of Slayer gear. No, not good Slayer gear. Like, again, flat stat. The substats are awful. Substats awful. You know, substats not very good at all. I mean, what are you looking for with Slayer gear, right? You want crit rate, crit damage, speed. And I don't have any of this gear where I have that combination. This is okay, right? Crit rate, crit damage, speed if it rolls right. Attack percent, there's a good piece if I just needed an attack champ. But, you know, okay, we got crit rate, crit damage, but that's only 5-star, and there's no speed there. Let's look at the other shields, right? Okay, there's nothing here in stats that I'd want. I only have one roll of crit rate, and I've just got a substat of speed, so the rest of this is not very good. Here I got the crit damage and the speed, no crit rate. Here, if this hadn't been res, if that had been in speed instead, that would have been a good piece of gear. So even though I'm talking about, well, we want to get rid of gear, right? We want to be picky. In this situation, I'm saving it because A, I paid for it, right? That was part of that Forge Pass. Okay, so even though I didn't get very many good rolls, I paid for this gear. So my thought process is as I move along, maybe I can re-roll some of it and get some better Slayer gear. Would I do this with speed gear? No. Right? Would I do it with accuracy? No. Like those, I would, and you can see that just judging by like, let's get rid of all this and let's look at how many pieces we've got of each life. Just 2 pieces. And I don't even know that I'll ever use these. The only reason I kept the crit damage is because, hey, a triple roll on the HP percent was decent. So, you know, I wanted a piece to pair it with, but this could really go in the trash bin. Won't ever use this. Attack percent, like those, I mean, those are awful. Never going to wear those. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is this. This is what I'm going to say in this situation. Okay, I could delete these because I will never put this gear on good champs. However, I'm still working on my faction wars, and I still have a lot of champs that I haven't leveled up, or champs that are mid-tier that I may never level up, but I need for faction wars. I'm going to put this on a champion for faction wars. That's a good use of this gear rather than just deleting it. Okay, 5-star speed boots for defense. I don't even have them leveled. They're not. I have too many. Okay, 6-star speed boots. So let's sell this. Don't need it. As you can see, this gear, again, none of it's great. So what it needs to go on is faction wars champions that aren't very good. This is a good piece that I'd save, just hoping I can get maybe a quad speed roll. But clearly I'm not going to, even if I re-roll it. So let's get rid of it. That's a decent piece right here. Crit rate gear. That's a good piece. I'll never use resistance with crit rate, but the speed isn't awful. So let's do this. Let's get rid of that. I will keep these 2. There's a set. Let's look down here. It's a flat rate, which I kept. Why? I don't mind flat rates if I get all speed. Okay, like you need to do that. Oh, look at this. I got a triple speed there. I'll take it. And I'll even level it all the way up to 16. Okay, I got defense. Let's see if I can get a defensive substat right here in the Ascension. Nope. But either way, you can't fake triple and quad speed rolls. In other words, when you get those, it doesn't really matter whether it's on a flat stat or your preferred, even if this was like crit rate gauntlets or crit damage gauntlets that had a quad speed roll and I was putting it on a support champ, who cares? It's, you know, like very rarely are you going to get to the point in your account where all your champions have the best gear that you could ever want on every single one. So I've got that, and let's see if I've got some more speed on some. There's a double. No. This I'm just getting, well, it's 6 stars. So let's go up to 12 and see if I can get a speed roll. Did not. That defense. This piece may be okay. Let's ascend it. Okay, there you go. That's not a bad piece right there either. So I'll keep that. This, 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 this is all faction wars. Dump it on faction wars right there. But what I do need to do is find a piece of accuracy that I can get a triple roll or a quad roll on a piece of gear, and I'll pair that up with this. So I'm just going to keep this. May not use it for a little while, but certainly, you know, what kind of champion would this be used on? Queen of Hearts. Okay, what do I want out of the Queen of Hearts? I want high accuracy, which this would provide. I even have a substat in accuracy right there. I want to be able to buff strip with her. So good deal right there. Or any speed lead champ, right? We can't all have triple and quad rolls on speed gear. You know, the likelihood of that happening is very, very slim. So any of your support champions could benefit from this accuracy chest right here. Just don't get hung up on, oh, it's a flat stat. It's okay. It's okay. The most important thing to those champions is speed and accuracy, and this provides both. I just need a piece to properly pair it with. Okay. The lifesteal I'll save, not because I'll put it on any good champs, but simply for the same reason as the others, faction wars. There's got to be a champion that I have that I can put that on. Fury, nope, sorry. Nobody really uses Fury gear, and it's kind of all trash anyways. Get rid of it. Daze, I'll still use. I know Daze isn't great. You know, sleep is not a great buff, simply because you can put everybody to sleep, and then you have a champion that has to attack somebody. He does, and he wakes everybody up. It's not great, but for faction wars, again, if you have some good Daze equipment, I would not be afraid to put it on them. Like, this is not a bad pair of boots right here. These are not going to be a bad pair of boots. Okay, and now these I've leveled up much, much earlier in my account. I think I had Cold Heart in this gear. Just once again for faction wars. There's a triple crit rate. Let's see if I can get a triple speed on this. Nope, not going to. So guess what? This can go trash. What's this look like? There's a triple. There's a triple. If I have, let's say again, that mid-tier faction wars champ that needs 100% crit rate, like look at that. Between these two, you've got 40%. So it's not bad. And then you add in the boots, that's 57% for these three pieces. You're in pretty good shape, because if you just simply put, you know, one level of ascension on them to where you take the crit rate, okay, boom. Now you're up over 60% and still have 3 slots left. So let's just claim our rewards here while we're here. And that's honestly, to be 100% honest with you, that's a good level for me. Just spent enough to get the gems, which I always try to get the gems. I told you this account up until a few weeks ago, I had almost 31,000 gems saved up. And they are so critical because you have options with gems, right? You can cash them all in for ancient shards, and you can win some champ chase event. Or you could simply say, like, look, I need 20,000 points in this deck event, and I need to do dungeon divers. There you go. Use your gems. So it doesn't matter that there's only 50 of them. They all add up. I'm only at, 13,000 essentially right now for gems. But you know what? If I can restrain from spending many of them for 3 or 4 months, I'll be back up in, 25,000 or so. So again, you always got to have that long approach. Let's just do a little bit more gear. I can kind of show you. So my cursed, very important gear set to me for Hydra. A lot of those champions that have AoEs, I'm going to put in cursed or provoke. So that's a speed, that's good. Accuracy chest piece for cursed is going to be good. Got another accuracy there with 2 speed rolls. Take it. A defensive one with a triple HP. Good piece there too. Gauntlets. Double speed. Only a single. Neither one of these gauntlets are great, but until I have something better, because it requires 4 pieces, I like to keep at least 1 piece of every slot, right? I want to make sure I have some gauntlets, because you never know what you're going to need for that combination on that champion. I probably can get rid of, since I have this, I can probably get rid of this piece, but it does have, the reason why I saved it is double accuracy. You're putting a hex debuff down. Most likely you've got other debuffs on that champion. that you want to put down. So accuracy is going to be very important. This one does not have accuracy. So that's why I kept this one. Here I've got the accuracy and the speed. That's a good piece. Here I've got accuracy and speed. I wish I had more speed, more accuracy, but again, we don't have that options all the time. Regeneration is awesome. In fact, I'll buy a piece of regeneration gear when it comes in the shop if it's a good enough piece, which is what I did right here. These boots were in the shop. I know I have one other speed set, but for me, regeneration is so important. There's so many builds, Ice Golem especially, that you want the regeneration. And so it's good to have a few sets of it. I don't need this 5-star piece anymore, so I can get rid of that. I could probably get rid of this piece too, to be honest with you, but I can save it for Faction Wars. Like until I'm to the point where I've maxed out Faction Wars and I've got Lydia, I probably should keep the decent gear that I have that's 5-star. After that, then I can start kind of pruning the tree and get rid of all my 5-star gear. You'll reach that point where you don't need any more 5-star gear. Here's an HP chest, which for regeneration is very important. Probably never ever use the res piece, right? Resistance for regeneration, probably not. But it does have the double roll of HP percent. Crit damage, don't need this. I wish I had a little bit of speed there. That's why I didn't go above 8. Crit damage, never going to use probably a crit damage piece of regeneration. No speed. Like that's why none of these pieces are rolled up, is because I just did not get the speed rolls that I wanted. And typically, if you don't finish rolling it up, you know this, it's probably because you don't like the way the piece is turning out. And I could go in and delete them all. But until I get something better, once again, I like to make sure I've got one piece in each slot. And until I get a few more pieces, like a few more weapons or a few more shields, I'm going to keep that, because you never know when you see a build and you're like, hey, I need this guy in regeneration. Okay. I haven't leveled up these relentless pieces. Let's go ahead and do that right now, and then we'll call it a day. See what we get. Okay, got one speed there. Give me another speed. Nope. All right. See what we got right here. Give me a triple speed. Start out with 2. Nope. Just accuracy. Let's go one more, because if this gives me another accuracy, I may rework it. No. Okay, let's get rid of this piece, because I've got a double speed already there waiting. This one, I would only do anything as if I got a bunch of, see, if I rolled like those 2 in this defense, I'd rework it. But since I didn't, we'll get rid of that piece. Come here. This is a great piece. Come on, give me some good speed. One of everything. All right, is what it is. Let's see, gauntlets. Once again, I'd take a quad speed. Nope. And I got, again, if I had more, like if this had rolled up double crit damage, I might have re-rolled it. But since I only got one roll on each stat, we're going to just get rid of it. Same thing here. Nope, one of each. Crappy piece, get rid of that. Let's look right here. We're looking for accuracy. Looking for accuracy. Nope. Nah. I just can't ever think of a champion I'd put that on. And so once, like I kind of told you, if I got, let's say, all speed here, nope, which I didn't, so we'll get rid of this piece as well. I still think I've got a few good pieces here. That's a decent piece. Obviously, speed, that's a good piece. This is a great piece for a defensive champion, actually. They could have used a speed sub-roll, but, I mean, you can't always have everything. There's 2 speed there, 2 speed there. 2 speed, 2 speed. Oh, that's a good one. Do I have any others that are really good? Double roll speed, double roll speed, double roll speed, double roll. Okay. So let's just go. Come on. Give me speed. Give me speed. Nope. Now that's interesting right there. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for what I want is a double roll of speed. Let's rework it. Come on. There you go. Paid off. Does it pay off all the time? Nope. Does it pay off most of the time? Nope. Paid off here. Love it. Crit rate and speed and accuracy, which is good. I can put this on, an attack champion that I want to get a lot of turns because I've got the boots, I've got the weapon, I've got a few different chest pieces I could use. I think one of these shields is actually pretty decent. Like that one, or a helmet. There you go, right there. That's a good piece. 2 speed. I've got crit rate, crit damage. So that's not a bad piece either. But you definitely need to take time and go through your inventory. And, like I said, you can see I do that pretty consistently. Aside from the stone skin, I've got a lot of stone skin, a lot of protection, a lot of feral. The feral, I think actually, I've gone through all of it, and this is what I'm keeping. I've gotten rid of the rest. But Slayer, Merciless, Supersonic, Stone Skin Protection, I've kept a lot of those simply because there's so many awful pieces, but I'm trying to put together a set. And I'm just hoping that if I have to re-roll some of those, I get what I need. But all the rest of my sets of gear, you can see I've only kept what I thought would be helpful, and I've gotten rid of the rest. So, love to hear your comments. Do you roll up gear differently than I do? Do you look for different qualities? I'll never profess to know it all. I'd love to hear your comments. Anyways, till next time, have a great evening. Take care of yourself.